Okay, so you've been wire wrapping for a super long time. You're ready to take on soldering, but you don't know where to start, what to buy. Are you gonna burn your house down? How does it work? What is solder? This is for you. Also, how much it costs. That's what we're really gonna talk about today. So let's get into it. Today, we're gonna break down exactly how much it costs to set up a super basic soldering setup at home for very simple beginner designs. No fluff, no extra materials, just everything that I believe you essentially need to get started and make some super simple designs like simple stacker rings, some little hoops, some pendants, and just really get your foot in the door with soldering without spending a lot of money. So if you're new here, my name is Serena and I owned a handmade jewelry shop called Ruby de Blue for over 8 years. And long story short, I closed my shop a few years ago to pivot to teaching you guys how to make jewelry. And honestly, this shift has been so amazing. And I truly feel like my mission is to teach as many people how to make jewelry because it is so much fun. Fun fact, I actually started this channel about 5 years ago, so if you go peep on any of my weird cringy videos, just know the vision was always here. I was just way too busy selling jewelry to actually make these videos, so I'm so excited to have this time now to start up this channel. And I think we're gonna have a lot of fun here because I have a lot to share and it is going to be so much fun. I get asked this a lot, and so I'm super excited to make this video for you guys. And just FYI, if you guys do want to dive deeper into these tools, how to use them, where to buy them, plus step-by-step tutorials, you can access all of this by subscribing to my school for only $10 a month. It's really straightforward. Once you subscribe, you get access to everything. And there's always new tutorials every month, community of 370 plus jewelry makers just like you, and one-on-one messaging so that I can help guide you through anything that you're doing. And I just love to have this one-on-one time with you guys so that I can really help you with any project you're working on or whatever tutorial course you are doing in the school. It's honestly super epic. But done with that, let's get into it. So when it comes to jewelry making, something to keep in mind, depending on what you are trying to create, really determines what tools you need. If you are trying to set gemstones into rings and earrings, you're going to need a lot more tools, which is going to make your setup a lot more expensive. So I am going to be breaking down a setup that is tools and supplies that I feel like it just is a great foundation for you to start learning how to create some really simple jewelry tutorials and jewelry styles like simple stacker rings or super simple pendants. There's so much you can do with sourced wire and this setup at home. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so I have my handy dandy list so I don't forget anything for you guys. We're gonna start with the materials. First thing that you need to know is that you gotta start with sterling silver wire. It is cheaper. It is way easier to work with when soldering. I know there's a lot of gold girlies out there and they want to shoot straight for gold filled, and trust me, I was one of them. And that is probably one of my biggest tips is start with sterling silver, practice soldering on cheaper materials. Don't do gold filled. I can't tell you how much money I accidentally spent or wasted ruining that wire. Also, I recommend 16 gauge half hard round wire. This is great wire to get started with, or 18 gauge. Both of those work super great. And an ounce of that at Rio Grande is around $40, and an ounce usually comes out to about like 12 feet. So you do get a lot of wire to practice with, especially if you want to make some simple stacker rings, some little squiggle rings, some earrings. This is great wire for you to start. Now we're going to talk about soldering tools, and these are going to be all of the tools that are essential for helping you solder. First thing is that you're going to need a desk. You don't need to invest in a super expensive jeweler's bench. I worked on just an IKEA desk for a super long time, and you can find a good desk for about like $80 or thrift a desk, maybe you already have a desk. Soldering boards, of course, this is what you will be using to solder your pieces on. These range from about $15 to $20 depending on where you get them. Now a torch, of course, this is super essential. I absolutely love my torch from Pepe Tools. I talk about it all the time. I think she is great. She is perfect. She heats up so well. She's super easy to use, and she's only about like $45, which is great for a really high quality torch. And then you'll need $10 for butane to fill up that torch. And you can get that from just your local smoke shop or liquor store. Next is you're gonna need a third hand, and this I believe is super crucial because it holds your pieces into place while you're soldering, and that just makes everything so much easier. And you can get one of those for about $14 on Amazon. A solder pick. This is going to move your solder where you need it. This is super, super handy, and this is gonna be about $6. Handy dandy flux. You are going to need that. That is what you place on your pieces to help flow the solder and help prevent your piece from getting fire scale or burning. And you can get that on Amazon for about $12. Some tweezers. This is going to be essential for you to pick up your solder and place it onto your piece, and this is going to be about $6. You're going to need some solder. I absolutely love to get my solder from Rio Grande. You can get it in chip form or you can get it in sheet form. I personally love the chips. The sheets are nice because you can cut whatever chunk of solder that you need, so you can get bigger pieces or smaller pieces. It's a little bit more manageable. And those run on Rio Grande for I believe $40. You're also gonna need a pickle pot, which is going to be what you use after you solder to clean off all the residue. It is a non-negotiable one that you need at your bench, and you can find a pickle pot and the pickle kit set up for about $50. So after you have soldered your jewelry, you are going to want to have some tools to help you form that metal. This is going to include, of course, a plier set, which is just a very basic round nose, chain nose, and flush cutter set. And you can get that for about $20 on Amazon, or if you want a really good high quality set of pliers, I highly recommend buying some on Rio Grande. You are going to want a hammer, steel block, and a mandrel. You can find all of this in a set on Amazon for about $30. Now, if you're specifically trying to make some little simple stacker rings or some simple ring designs, you are going to need a Whaley's gauge tool. This tool is absolutely incredible. It measures out your ring band in a few seconds, and it helps you not have to do all the math behind it. It's gonna save so much time. It is one of my favorite tools at my bench, and I believe is my #1 must have. You have to have this if you're trying to make rings. And if you want a tutorial on how to use that tool, you can find a bunch of them on my Instagram or TikTok. I chat about this tool all the time because I seriously think it is the most genius tool ever. Anyways, the wire gauge tool, it's about $45 on Amazon. I have that linked for you in my Amazon shop. And then the ring bending block, this is gonna help you bend your ring into a perfect little ring shape, and it does this for you in just a few simple hits on the mandrel and the ring block. And that tool is about $26. And again, if you want tutorials on how to use those tools, subscribe to my school. Okay, next up is polishing and cleanup tools. This is where shit can get expensive depending on the professional finish you are going for. You're gonna wanna invest in more tools. You're gonna want a flex shaft. You're gonna wanna have polishing compounds. There's so much that you can do with polishing, and the more you invest, the better outcome you're gonna get for your jewelry. But for a very simple polishing regimen that will still make your jewelry look so great and shiny, this is what you need. You're gonna want some files and sandpaper. You are gonna use this to smooth out rough edges and polish up the excess solder on your joints or your rings or whatever you're creating. And you can find this on Amazon for about $20. You are going to want a Dremel. This is a rotary hand tool that is going to help you polish and clean up your joints, your solder, and to me, I think is something that you really can't skip out on. It is going to take your ring from looking like you are so beginner to you've been making jewelry forever. Your jewelry will come out looking so great. You can get a Dremel on Amazon for about $60. And you can get all of the polishing bits, sanding bits, and everything that you need for about $16. Again, I have all of this linked for you on my Amazon shop. You could also invest in a polishing wheel, which is great if you are doing like bangles or thicker, you're working with like thicker pieces. A polishing wheel is great because you really can put some force onto it and really get the shine and whatever that you are trying to achieve for your jewelry. A polishing wheel can range from like $100 to $150. Also, you are going to want a tumbler. I believe that this is super essential because this is going to help you really polish up your jewelry and is just that final last step that your jewelry is going to need, and it comes out so sparkly, and you can get one of those on Amazon for about like $45. And there you have it. That is a very basic beginner setup. If you guys want to dive into these tools, everything I talk about, and this specific setup, again, I have this all in my school, and if you just subscribe for $10 a month, you'll get the video going through all these tools with you, how they work, where you can buy them. I'm so happy to make this video for you guys because I get so many of you guys asking me what to expect when you want to sign up for my intro into soldering course, and how much all the tools are going to be and what you will need and stuff like that. So I think this video is really helpful to really gauge the investment that you really need to make to start soldering. And again, this is a very, 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 very basic, beginner-friendly approach to soldering and a very basic foundation of tools that will just get you going. And I'm teaching you how to make some really, really cute beginner jewelry styles in my school that utilizes all of these tools. So all of these tools will set you up to be able to create so many different types of jewelry styles. Make sure to subscribe here on YouTube because I am fully committed to starting to really invest some more time into this channel and give you guys more videos like this where I just hop on and chat with you guys and give you tips and tricks and answer some questions in a different way, which I think is really, really cool. And again, you can find all of these tools in my Amazon shop. I have a list that is just like basic beginner foundation setup, and it's all the tools in there for you. So everything that I've talked about today is in my Amazon shop, and you can also find higher quality tools at Pepe Tools. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new. Of course, if you have any questions, comment below, let me know. Subscribe so that you guys can follow along with more tips and tricks. I had so much fun chatting with you guys, and I can't wait to be back with another video. Let me know what you guys would like to learn next because I have a lot to share. I love you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day.